Moisture Surge, excuse me. I do like their I like their Moisture Surge moisturizer. Hi gang. So in this video, I am going to be answering some questions from the 30 beauty questions tag. I'm looking at the questions from this website called the Beauty Section Beauty Blog. I found this tag because recently I saw Elderly Emo do this tag on her channel. So I will link her video down below as well. Okay, so let's get to the questions. So the first question is, do you remember your first makeup item? I think my first ever makeup item was this kind of lip gloss roll-on. I don't know, if I can find a picture, I will post it up here. It was really, really popular, and it was, I think, maybe $1 from a makeup store in the mall, which was the closest to my house. I think everyone had one of those. I liked the orange one. I also liked the grape, and I liked the pink. I think I preferred the orange the best. It had a scent to it. It had a slight sheen to it. The first kind of proper makeup item, would have been a two-way cake from the brand ZA, and it was far too light for my skin tone, but no one could tell me any different. I thought I looked good with a very, very light foundation. Describe your perfect mascara. Have you found one that fits your specifications? Okay, so with me, my perfect mascara is something that will hold a curl because my lashes go downward, and if I use a non-waterproof mascara, it will flatten in minutes. Literally, I would put the mascara on, and by the time I'm done with the rest of my face, my lashes would have drooped already. So at this point, as you can see, I'm wearing false lashes. Obviously, they're too wild and too big to be natural. So my perfect mascara does hold a curl, and it also lengthens. I don't have tremendously long lashes. I'm kind of in between favorite mascaras. I do like the Heroine Make Long and Curl Mascara, Advanced Film, Super Waterproof. It has a really long name. This is actually from a Japanese brand. The Heroine Make is a Japanese brand, and it would make sense that, you know, they would make mascaras that are appropriate for East Asian lashes. I like this one for holding a curl and giving me length. It doesn't give me a lot of volume. For that, I would use the Volume and Curl Mascara from Heroine Make. Or at this point, I've just been layering other mascaras on top of it. I've been using the CoverGirl Exhibitionist Waterproof Mascara to kind of bulk up the volume of it at the base of the lashes. And I've also been using the Too Faced Better Than Sex. This is a pretty old mascara, but I'm still not done with it. It also seems to be clunking around on the tube. I don't understand why, but anyway. The packaging is cute though. And what else is there? If you can't get your hand on the Heroine Make Long and Curl Mascara, I think the Maybelline, the one with the pink words on the black background, that one is comparable to this. It might not give as much length, but it does hold a curl really well. Otherwise, if you can find this one does hold a curl. And it does hold a curl in humid weather as well. So that's a big plus because I come from Singapore. I'm currently living in Germany. When I lived in Singapore, this was the only thing that would hold my lashes up for an extended period of time. Side note, I used a crazy trick where, well, maybe it's not that crazy. I think a lot of people do that. I would heat up my eyelash curler with my hairdryer, curl my lashes, go in with the mascara immediately afterwards, and then use the cool setting on my hairdryer to dry my lashes in place. And that was the only way I could get my lashes up and staying there. Don't know if you want to go through all that trouble, but that worked for me. What kind of coverage do you prefer from foundation? Today's makeup, I think the coverage does look a little bit heavy. I don't know. Let me know what you think down below. My preferred coverage is light to medium. And I have been really liking the technique of simply color correcting the areas, such as my darker under eyes, around the redness of my nose, around my mouth, and kind of setting it in place with powder. Today I decided to use a combination of some foundation and concealer underneath my eyes and setting it with powder as well. I usually don't take my foundation or any sort of concealer around the perimeters of my face. This area usually remains untouched. If anything, it would be here, here, and here. Of course, I will try to blend it out so it doesn't look patchy or anything. But that technique has been working quite well for me, and I prefer that. I prefer not to feel as if I have a heavy layer on my face. And I also prefer for my skin not to look too made up. Although, looking at my skin now, it does look like I have makeup on. So, yeah, today I just decided to go more high coverage. Okay, number 4. What is your favorite high-end brand? I don't know if I have a favorite high-end brand. Viseart is designed, at least their first 12 pan palettes, something like this. These are the editorial brights. I think these are definitely more geared towards professional makeup artists that can make use of, color mixing and all that color theory to create a certain look. Some of their newer palettes, like the 6-pan ones, are a bit more targeted for the regular consumer, the average consumer. A lot of these palettes, the 12-pan ones, are really more for makeup artists, and I have more of those than anything else. I do like the quality of their eyeshadows. I really do like their mattes. Their mattes are pretty good, and they blend very nicely. And their shimmers, I do like the different kinds of shimmers. The ones from the Paris Nudes are really kind of soft, but I really like the finish that it gives. It really depends on the mood I'm in. If I want like very sparkly stuff, maybe I'll use the Koi palette. But if I'm looking for something, subtle but glimmery and blends really nicely and has this kind of soft wash on the eye, that would be Paris Nudes, and I really like that aesthetic as well. So I would just say Viseart based on the amount of products that I have from them, as well as the versatility that I feel that Viseart has. I do like Natasha Denona, but I think some of her shadows are hit and miss. With Viseart, I like all of their shadows. I may not like all of their color arrangements, just because I am not a makeup artist and I'm just a general consumer. But in terms of the quality of their products, I can't fault them. Okay, so that's my answer, Viseart. We took a long while to get there. 5th question. What cosmetic brands have you always wanted to try but still haven't? When it comes to mainstream makeup, I don't think I have many brands that I want to try. All of the brands that I want to try are indie brands, and they're a little bit harder to get a hold of because they are indie brands, and I live in Germany, not the US. A lot of US indie brands are, catching my attention. So Cleonda, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Burovich, I don't know how to pronounce it. I can't remember. I've recently seen them on Instagram a lot by a channel called MartesMakeup. I'll link her channel down below. She does a lot of eyeshadow looks with indie brands specifically, and if you like indie brands, you'll probably like her channel. Kaleidos, Odin's Eye, interested in that. More of Kimchi Chic Beauty. I did get a couple of lip products from Kimchi Chic, but I didn't get any eyeshadow products. That would be interesting to me. Sydney Grace, a good friend of mine, Sam. I'll link her channel down below. She also has a channel. Hi, Sam. She gifted me some Sydney Grace eyeshadows, 3 of them. But I want to try some more. And what else is there? There are so many. Nomad Cosmetics? Yeah, okay, those are the ones that I can think of off the top of my head, but mostly indie brands. Coincidentally, I'm on a no-buy for the rest of this year, so good luck to me. Maybe next year. Okay, number 6, favorite drugstore brand. At this point, I think I would have to say Essence, simply because I found some really good palettes from them. These are very simple neutral palettes, but I really like to use them as face palettes, and I think the quality is quite good. For the price that you pay, I think they're a bargain. So this particular palette, Love What You Do, has more shimmer shades. This palette has more matte shades. I use this more for contouring my face. This one is Follow Your Heart. And my prized possession, I depotted them, that's why they're in this packaging. These are the shades from their Never Give Up Your Daydream palette. I use them as highlighter. These are colorful highlighters for me. I mean, I use them on my eyes as well, but primarily they are highlighters because they're so light. Those shadows are great. These shadows up here are their melted chromes, the Essence melted chromes. And I do have a whole bunch of their eyeliners as well. The one I really enjoy using is... Now, if you can't tell, I really do like red shades. This one is the shade 29 Berry Fantastic Long Lasting Eye Pencil. So this works really well. It stays really well. It has great pigmentation. The other shades from the whatever long lasting eye pencil line, not all of them pack a punch as much as the Berry Fantastic shade does. But if you're looking for a deep red shade for the waterline, Berry Fantastic, go get it. Yeah, so definitely Essence is my favorite drugstore brand. I don't think Essence has very many interesting and quality colorful eyeshadow. The ones that I've swatched in store seem a bit lackluster. So I probably won't be able to get, eyeshadow palettes that I really enjoy from Essence. But as far as kind of the staple things go, highlighter and contour shades, even though it's marketed as an eyeshadow palette, I think Essence has been covered. Do you wear fake lashes? Yes, I wear fake lashes. Number 8, is there any kind of makeup you can't leave the house without? No, I can go barefaced. Number 9, what is your most cherished beauty product? I think I'm just gonna have to go with the Melt Cosmetics Morte palette, just because it doesn't seem to be available anymore, and I don't know if they will ever bring it back. I love using these red tones, and the quality of the palette is just really great. So yeah, I guess this would be my most cherished palette. It's very interesting. It has a great color story. The shadows perform very nicely, and I'm a big fan. Number 10, how often do you shop for makeup? Do you like to pick an item here or there, or get lots of goodies at once? At this point, I'm going on a no-buy, so based on my past makeup purchases, I would usually get makeup if I was upset. I would usually do an impulse buy. Sometimes I would pick items up here and there. More often than not, I would make an order of a few items. Number 11, do you have a beauty budget or do you spend freely? Prior to going on this no-buy, I pretty much just spent freely. There were lots of times where I knew I shouldn't have gotten things just on an impulse. It's something that I'm trying to kind of make up for in this no-buy. After this no-buy, I think I will try to go more on a conscious buying pattern. Do you utilize coupons, reward cards, and sales when you shop for cosmetics? Yes, as much as I can, as much as I possibly can. Number 13, what type of product do you buy the most of? I will have to say eyeshadow. I have a lot of lipsticks, but not anywhere near the amount of eyeshadows I have. Is there a brand that you absolutely cannot stand? I don't think I have a strong dislike for any brands. If I have any sort of issue with a brand, it would be more likely because of the actions of you know, either the owners or just the team that makes up the brand has done something which is distasteful to me. For instance, Jeffree Star. At this point, I'm not supporting Jeffree Star anymore. I did really like his products prior to all the scandals kind of resurfacing. He exhibits behavior that is not becoming of a grown adult person. That's all I can say. I'm going to say that I don't like the packaging of glam light products, especially the ones that are themed after food and come in very kind of outlandish packaging. I guess that's part of their thing, having a palette that looks like a burger or a pizza or something else. I can't remember what else they've done. But in general, I don't like the packaging choices of glam light. I don't know about the quality of their products because I haven't tried any of their products. From what I hear, they're actually pretty good. But that's not very apparent when you look at, you know, the packaging of it, because it looks very gimmicky. It looks a bit kitsch, not a bit kitsch, a lot kitsch. I would say I can't stand the brand because I don't really have any strong feelings towards any brand. But what I can say is I don't like their packaging. Number 15, do you avoid certain ingredients in cosmetics like parabens or sulfates? No, I don't. At this point, I'm trying to avoid buying any sort of glitter that is not biodegradable. Glitter has microplastic in it, and it affects the sea life. Sea life? It affects the ocean and it affects the environment. Do you have a favorite place to shop for makeup? I have a few places that I really like to go to. One is Beauty Bay for kind of the US brands that are hard to get a hold of here. I think more recently, a lot of those brands have started, you know, becoming more available in mainstream stores. But Beauty Bay is one of the places I like to shop at. I like Douglas. That's a German brand. It's kind of like our German Sephora. I do like the site Cosmetic for Less. They have a lot of Nabla products there. Do you like trying new skincare products or do you keep to a certain routine? At this point, I pretty much stick to the same thing. I don't use a lot of skincare. The only thing I use is moisturizer, and with moisturizer sometimes I just don't put it on either because it is quite expensive. The brand that I use is Clinique. I like their Moisture Surge moisturizer. It's just Moisture Surge. Oh god. Moisture Surge. And I also use their Dramatically Different moisturizer. I find that they're the best at keeping my skin moisturized. I received a sample of the Midnight Recovery Concentrate maybe a couple years back, and I did like the scent as well as the effect that it had on my face, so I decided to get this as a little extra booster for my skincare routine. But I don't use them every single day, just when I feel I need it or when my skin gets dry. I don't know. Favorite bath and body brand? I'm pretty okay with just buying whatever seems interesting at the time in the store. I do really like these
Dolce Vive
bar soaps because I like the scents and they clean my skin well. I don't know. I don't consciously repurchase St. Ives. I just know that I like some of their scents. For the most part, when we run out of shower gel or body soap, we just grab whatever looks interesting in the store. And I typically look for something that smells minty and lemony, or I will look for something that has a lavender scent to it. I don't like anything that smells coconutty. There is this particular scent that I really enjoy. I will put it up on the screen because I don't know how to pronounce it. The scent that I really like is Sage Dawn. That one, beautiful scent. Love that scent. If you could only buy from one brand, which brand would you choose? Right now, if I were pressed, I I would say either Nabla or Melt Cosmetics. Eyeshadow is something I really enjoy, and I think both of those brands do eyeshadow really well. Nabla, some palettes are a little bit disappointing. For the most part, I think their single shadows are really great. What brand do you think has the best packaging? Out of everything that I have, I would say Juvia's Place has the most artistic packaging, and I would say Nabla has a great balance of sturdiness as well as aesthetically pleasing packaging. It's just, the magnets are strong, you know, it feels really hardy. There is kind of there are different textures on the packaging on the front. Some parts are glossy, some parts are matte, and you generally see there's a lot of detail that goes into Nabla packaging. And the eyeshadows are really good, and they also have, you know, big mirrors all the time. So definitely would have to say Nabla and Juvia's Place. I mean, look at Juvia's Place. The artwork is just beautiful, and I do like the fact that Juvia's Place has a lot of cultural meaning in the naming of their eyeshadows and in the packaging. So there's a lot of cultural significance to their palettes, and that's why I think that's why I really do like Juvia's Place packaging as well. Which celebrity has great makeup? Okay, I just thought of one. Doja Cat. I like the makeup that Doja Cat has on most of the time. I like her aesthetic, and I also like her music. So I would say Doja Cat. Do you belong to any online makeup communities? In general, it would be the YouTube beauty space and the Instagram beauty space, specifically more towards indie makeup. 23. 5 favorite beauty gurus. I don't like the term beauty guru. I don't. Gurus are meant to be wise men, have a very extensive wisdom, and I think the big beauty influencers that have a substantial amount of following, I don't completely trust them, because I think a lot of them don't actually have proper training. And that's not to say that they can't do makeup well. That's not to say that they don't create very beautiful, interesting looks. There's just a lot of things that a self-taught person would pick up that is not necessarily as effective or as versatile as the techniques an actual makeup artist who has been trained would use. Let's just say that. I really like this channel called tatianaroseart. I love her aesthetic. Her aesthetic is just beautiful. I love her aesthetic, and I really, really try very hard to emulate that kind of, you know, poise and composure. I'm not that graceful. I think her real talent lies in the art of photography and the art of filmmaking, and she creates a beautiful experience with her videos. It's not so much that, you know, she's great at explaining how to do things. She just creates a very beautiful visual experience, and it's like watching a movie. To be perfectly honest, when I started doing my own videos, I really focused a lot on watching the videos of smaller YouTubers and people that I got to know in real life. Another YouTuber that I really love is Lauren Luke, Panacea 81. She was the first beauty YouTuber I ever saw and ever watched, and I learned a lot from her. When I was 18, I did one of the looks in her tutorials. Back then, YouTube was super small. There weren't really any big beauty influencers. People didn't have their own makeup lines. Sponsorships weren't really a big deal. So yeah, and Lauren was, you know, just uploading videos of herself talking into the camera. There was no editing done on her part. It was just pretty much record and then upload. And back then, I think you could only do 10-minute videos. You could only upload 10-minute videos. So she was one of the original beauty YouTubers, and that's why I have to mention her. Also, I actually got to meet her in real life. Cute picture. And I did her makeup. which was crazy. Totally nuts. Did not expect that. That was also another reason why I decided to start my own channel, because, you know, I did her makeup, I did a bit of talking, and there was lots of positive feedback from her audience, and that gave me a little bit more confidence to go on camera and actually upload my own videos. Another YouTuber I really like is Tammi Clarke. With Tammi, I really enjoy her presence and her composure. Aesthetically, I think Tammi goes for stronger, bolder looks with maybe more full coverage foundation, sharper lines, just a little bit more defined than my preferred aesthetic. But regardless, I really like her personality, and I like the way she speaks. Another YouTuber I really enjoy is Kolorful Kalmele. She's someone that I've only just started really paying attention to. Her makeup style is also very bright and bold and colorful, very, very bright and dynamic. And I just like how excited she is about makeup, and I also really love her personality. She comes across as very mellow and sweet and just very genuine, and I really like her enthusiasm when it comes to color. So while my makeup, I prefer to be a little bit more toned down and a bit more soft in nature, I still just really enjoy watching her. So the last YouTuber I'm going to talk about is Nicole Quinn. Nicole Quinn is kind of this really cool girl. I don't know how else to describe her. She's very thorough in her explanation and her rundown of, you know, makeup reviews. So that's something I really like about her. I also do like her aesthetic. When it comes to aesthetics, I think my personal preference is to be, you know, in between tatianaroseart, very refined and editorial. A lot of the times very soft and sultry, but she can also do very bold looks as well. I want to be between that and the very punchy, colorful, vibrant aesthetic of Kolorful Kalmele, Tammi Clarke, and Nicole Quinn. Those are my top 5 favorite. Please check them out. I will link them all down below. Do you like multifunctional products like lip and cheek stains? Honestly, I think a lot of makeup is multifunctional in itself. It just doesn't seem to be marketed as such. Lipstick, regular lipstick, any lipstick that's just marketed as lipstick can be used as a cheek stain. With liquid lipsticks, with bullet lipsticks, I use that as cheek stains or blusher. It's really up to the person to look at the product that is in front of them and say, you know what, I think this eyeshadow could be a great highlighter. I think this eyeshadow could be a great lip topper for a lip look. I think this lipstick could be a great base for my eyeshadow. You know, it's really up to the person to see the possibilities in front of them. And it's up to the person to experiment as well, to see what works for them and works for their skin. So yes, I would say I do like multifunctional products. And at the same time, I would say that most makeup is multifunctional. It just doesn't happen to be marketed as such. Number 25, are you clumsy in putting on makeup? I drop things a lot. Does that count? Do you use a makeup base or primer for the eyes? Yes, when I learned about eyeshadow primer, it changed everything for me. Eyeshadow primer is, you know, one of those things that I think is extremely necessary, especially if you want to create a nice eyeshadow look that will last the day and doesn't end up creasing on you, doesn't end up smudging on you. I love eyeshadow primer. 27. How many hair products do you use on a typical day? None. For this particular video, I decided to curl my hair. I put in some dry shampoo, and I used a little bit of hair setting spray. But on a typical day, I just leave my hair be and let it do its thing. 29. Do you ever consider taking makeup classes? I have taken makeup classes. It wasn't an extensive course, and by no means am I trained in anything, I signed up for an online makeup course with a makeup artist called David Horn, and he is the owner of House of Glam Dolls. He used to be the creative director of Illamasqua. He has a lot of industry experience. I found his makeup classes very interesting, very informative, and it just creates a different perspective because I have been so used to learning or listening to people talk about makeup who are kind of predominantly self-taught. There are people that are professionally trained that I have listened to and you know, watched their videos, but a good bulk of my knowledge about makeup and the application and techniques used are from self-taught makeup enthusiasts. I personally would love to learn a lot more about makeup artistry. I don't plan to be a professional makeup artist by any means, but just to expand my general knowledge and to finesse my own skills on myself. Number 30, what do you love about makeup? I love versatility and I love being able to transform the self. It's versatile in that, you know, you can put it on, you don't like it, you can take it right off. You can experiment with so many colors, and it's temporary, and it's depending on how elaborate you want to be. It's a moving work of art, and it's a statement about yourself. You can say something about your mood with your makeup. If you do eyeshadow well and you blend colors really nicely, sometimes strangers will come up to you and say, I really like that eyeshadow look. And there and then they learn something a little bit about you. They see a little bit of artwork that you've created on yourself. Just as fun as it is for a young child to grab a bunch of crayons and start coloring on a piece of paper. So that's what I love about makeup. So if you're interested in doing this tag, I will leave the questions down below. I will link all the relevant people. And that's it from me. Ciao for now.